Doreen, Carey and Thelma Squires have had a profound impact on the Bridgenorth Football Club over their lifetime. The sisters are members of a family synonymous to the area, the Lack family. Their father, Jack, was an original committee member and the club's first trainer, whilst their brothers Kevin and Mervyn were players in the post-war era, with Kevin arguably the greatest of all time, winning 9 best and fairests. Doreen and Thelma, along with their other sister Phyllis, were instrumental in so much behind the scenes, working for decades in the canteen and organising many social events for the club. The club would not be in the position it is today without the selfless contribution of people like Doreen and Thelma. Thank you for all that you have given to our club. This is your story. Well, I'm with Doreen, Carey and Thelma Squires from the Bridgenorth Football Club. Lovely to see you both, ladies. Thanks for being a part of this celebration as we get ready to celebrate 100 years of the Bridgenorth Football Club. And I might start with you, Doreen. What are some of your earliest and fondest memories of being here at Bridgenorth?
I remember the first time that I helped was at the first ground down in Baden Peck's farm, the ground was, and I just remember helping on the little kiosk, and all we had was saveloys and we had to run outside and get the saveloy out of the urn and pay the copper.
I bet they were good saveloys.
That's all I think we had, and that's sort of the main thing I can remember real early when we weren't very in the late 40s, I guess.
And what about for you, Thelma? What's some of your earliest memories?
Well, I do remember that ground.
What was the ground like?
Oh, pretty rough. The club rooms were pretty rough. It was just iron, you know, and ferns all around. I think there were ferns inside, but no roof on it or anything. And that's a memory that I have, thinking, you know, how awful now. But memory from there, and then they moved up here.
And going to the football on the weekend to go and watch, was that something back then that just about everyone in the community did? Because I know there's a lot of families out here, but was that something that was what we did on a Saturday?
That's right. That was our entertainment, wasn't it? It was part of our life. It was our life. That and going to the dances, which were often football related. But yeah, that was part of our lives. And our brothers playing, as I said, at that stage.
I sort of remember mainly when I was probably still only about 13, 14, where the footballers put on a concert, and they did it at Bridgenorth and Beaconsfield. It was really good in the hall. And we used to be there listening, you know, young children who were young. We were there listening to everything, taking notes. That's how we got involved, I think, with the footballers. And
I guess one day you got to go to these dances, did you?
Yes, run the dances.
And a real social occasion, was it then? It was not just about the football, it was just about the whole day. It was a big event.
Yeah, we did have dances later, and we run dances, and we had I was joint secretary with 2 other girls, and in those days we had to count how many people come into the dance, and it was tax on it, and we had to send that tax money back to Hobart within 48 hours, and that's I can still remember that well. Gosh.
And you have an award named after you, Doreen, for the best club player for the women's team. That must have been quite an honour as the women's team has developed over the last few years.
It has, but I feel a bit like others have been just the same as me.
Would you have liked to, when you see now with the women's football, would you have liked to have played the game? Or have you had a kick before?
I think I played that only in that day, but we never really thought about playing, I don't think. We were too busy perhaps here helping in the kiosk, and we cooked for dinners and players' teas. We were only young, but we used to cook for everything, so I don't think playing actually come into our... We was too interested in watching them, you know, our football.
If you were 20 years old today, would you like to play the game?
Oh, I reckon.
How would you go? What position would you?
I'd be pretty rough, I reckon.
You'd be a rough player?
She'd be a good player. She's a good at sport.
I used to play basketball, so that was sort of in the back part. in the back line.
Yeah.
And Thelma, for you, would you have loved to have had the opportunity
I'm sure
like
I
they do today?
I'm sure I would. I'd have been a rover.
A rover, would you? Pretty quick and nimble?
Oh, I don't know about that, but I've always been short. And one of our brothers was a rover, and he was little too. So no, I reckon I'd have liked to. And I used to love to play in our yard with Kevin and Mervyn, our brothers and our cousins, Fred, kicking the ball. You know, they'd come over and kick the ball on Sundays, and I'd be there being a nuisance.
That's right, got joined in, don't you? Yeah, show them who's boss, show them you can do it as well. We look at the facilities and the club rooms here today. What was it like back in the old, the days of the old canteen, etc.? What were the facilities and the conditions like back then?
Oh, it was only that little kiosk we had up the other end. We did our, there was a good committee, the ladies, and we used to cook food and all like too for the kiosk. But that was good. And I think the worst thing I can remember about those days when we had a football dinner, we'd cook for the football dinner, and we had this tiny little room, I don't know if it's still there, that the umpires probably go in it now, I don't know, and we had to go in that, and all the washing up, everything had to be done in this little room. It was really hard. So that's the only thing I can remember really.
Yeah, they don't know how good they got it today, people at home, do they?
They don't. They don't.
Would you have loved a dishwasher back then?
It was how it was then. You just accepted it.
We had a fuel stove, didn't we? And cook all the stuff on.
Yeah, and a memory of that time too was we had afternoon teas. We'd take cakes and sandwiches, and we'd be cooking that Friday nights, and we'd always have a nice plate of afternoon tea and a cup of tea, and people loved that, didn't they?
Yeah, they do.
They'd come up and don't have that now, but they have plenty of other things.
So who was that for? Who were you doing all that cooking and baking for?
For the spectators.
For all the spectators, you do that? Wow. Yeah.
They probably did it at other clubs too. I can't remember really, but no, that was something that was really nice. To have a nice cup of, well, they thought it was. Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to watch much of the game during the day when you're hard at work?
Oh, you'd see a little bit. You see the scores and think, oh, they got to go.
Yeah.
So not too much.
Because we'd be selling raffle tickets too. We'd have to go all around take it in turns, I suppose, but I remember that quite clearly.
We see some raffles today and some of the exorbitant things that they give away as prizes. What was the best first prize in a raffle that you can remember?
Oh, no, not sure.
It'd probably be a tray of vegetables or fruit and mixed something like that, basket or grocery, something like that.
Something that was going to be useful for people to have.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Good answer.
And the club today, it's thriving. It's very competitive in their under-18s. The women, of course, won the premiership. That must have been proud to see Bridgenorth win their very first women's premiership.
Yes.
I just love the club now. I love the under-18s. I've always loved them.
Yeah.
And we come to every match, so still at our age.
Fantastic. It's a small community here, but what do you think makes the club thrive and be able to have so many players, not only to make a team, but to actually choose from? Because you have a men's senior team, reserves, under-18s, women's. Why do you think this is a real destination club and people love to come here?
I think it's you can still see a future, and see what it has been, but it's so good that it's kept going, and everyone's from other districts around coming, are involved. It's so good.
And like I said before, it's the people, and we've still got like Daryl, Dennis Bromby. That's just two off the top of my head that had family members playing earlier days, and they've kept coming, and they work hard. And now we've got Bobby. He's Robert to me. I've always known him as Robert.
Robert when he's in trouble?
He's amazing. He's amazing too, and it's their attitude. to people, I imagine. They welcome people in. They've got a lovely way of explaining things and being thoughtful, like he's wonderful with the girls. Yeah, and it's the people, isn't it?
And this year they were not been so good, because we used to park way around the back and have to walk around all the time, and they've made 5 spaces just inside the gate for all the older people.
For us.
Fantastic.
Life members, whatever. And so good. We just have it right close, so that's really good.
And you've been a life member, I think it was in 1990 you were given life membership, so, and you still love nearly 35 years later almost. I mean, you still love the club like you did when you were a young girl and came here for the first time.
Yes, we went away for 3 years down the coast to live when I got married, but come back.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I just remember when we played Georgetown, we used to have to go to Beauty Point and get on the boat and go over to that for the game. I remember that, and we'd be singing, and we were so happy, singing all the way home. That's about the one thing I can remember.
So that was before the Batman Bridge, was it?
Yes.
Right. So what was that? What was that like? Like, how long would it take you to go over on the boat?
Do you remember?
Probably about half an hour back then, I imagine. I could remember that too. I mean, I was only a little girl, but we went to everything, didn't we?
And I think a lot of people today wouldn't appreciate that. They'd think, if you've got to go to Georgetown today, as the club does, you would think, well, okay, we'll be there in 30 minutes. Yeah. But it wasn't like that back then, was it?
No, it was just...
Well, that wasn't a weekly game. That would have been a Tamer association thing where we went and played. I was going to say too, when they won a lot of finals in our time, in my time when Michael was playing, and but before that, I was younger, they'd win a final, they'd probably go to the pub at Exeter, and then they'd all come back and parade around the hall, and they'd sing their song. They had a song then. It's a different one now, but the one they had then, so we used to be excited about them coming back.
I could imagine it'd be a great celebration, particularly in an era where there was so much success.
Yes, we were very excited to see them come back. And
we were very serious sort of barrackers. I remember when at Sidmouth, I think it was, we had to stand round the ground, like you didn't sort of park really around the ground, I don't think. We used to stand round. I know some of the ladies were really serious, and they had their umbrellas out and they was going to hit people, and they were, we were a lot younger than these ladies, other ladies that did that, but I can remember that.
Yes.
And if someone in the Bridgenorth team got hurt and someone yelled abuse at them, would you stick up for them and maybe give a little bit of lip service back to them? And
oh, no doubt, no doubt.
But with back then, were things forgotten very quickly as well? Like the game would be over and you'd have a bit of a laugh about it?
Oh yes, I think so.
Yeah.
It was really a bit with Exeter. We were real. We
didn't
wanted
like
to beat
them?
No.
What didn't you like about them? What was it?
I don't know. And ever since they've been black and white and everything's calling when everyone's black and white, I don't like.
You're not the first one to say that we've spoken to this week here in the club rooms either, I'd say.
Too close.
There's certainly something about black and white and not liking them down this part of the world.
Oh dear.
No, well that's great. Thank you for sharing all of those memories and for your contribution to Bridgenorth, because it's significant, particularly over the first 100 years of the club. It's a testament to the club that they're going still, when you see how many have gone before. But your contribution is valuable, so we thank you for that, and thanks for being a part of this documentary. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fontaine Sports Media is your leading local media, marketing, event and MC services provider for sporting clubs and other organisations. We work for both local and national clients, big and small, such as Tennis Australia, Hawthorn Football Club and Supercars. Fontaine Sports Media is a trusted company with over 15 years of success. We do everything from interviewing the best tennis stars in the world to chatting with local Tassie AFL stalwarts. So if you're looking for local expertise to market or host an event for your organisation, choose Fontaine Sports Media.